Hi guys, welcome back to another Minimum Wager's Kitchen. I'm Gigi, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some delicious cloud coconut macaroons. I'm also going to be sharing how much these cost at the grocery store prepackaged, and also too the batch and serving, the homemade version of course, on a budget. And I'll also be showing you how to make a very easy ganache to go with the macaroons today. Well, you guys, I'm super excited to show you how to make these delicious cloud coconut macaroons. So let's go ahead and get started with that recipe, shall we? Alright, you guys, so for ingredients today, not a lot of ingredients for these, and super easy to make. So let's go ahead and get started. For our first ingredient, that's going to be a 14-ounce bag. That's pretty much the standard size for the flaked sweetened coconut here. And actually, I'll show you the texture it should be. There you go. And for the next ingredient, that's going to be a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And go ahead and set aside 2 teaspoons worth of sweetened condensed milk, and that's going to be for a ganache later. Next, that's going to be a half teaspoon of just regular salt. And I just realized I put this in a white container, so you probably can't see it. Next, that's going to be 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And for the last ingredient for the macaroons, that's going to be 2 egg whites. And for a ganache today, that's going to be 1 cup of chocolate chips. Today I'm using milk chocolate chips. And like I mentioned before, go ahead and save 2 teaspoons of sweetened condensed milk and a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And those are the 3 ingredients we'll be using for the ganache today. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started with this recipe and put everything together. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with the mix here. So first off, I've got that bag of sweetened coconut flakes here, and go ahead and pour this into a large bowl. Our vanilla extract and the sweetened condensed milk. Alright, so next I've got the ingredients in here, and I'm going to go ahead and mix this really well. Make sure all that coconut flake is very, very thoroughly coated. Alright, so that took no time at all. And really it took me like less than a minute to mix this up. And all the ingredients are nice and coated in here. So now I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and put this right in the refrigerator just to keep it nice and cool. Alright, you guys, so for the next steps for the cloud coconut macaroons, that's going to be whipping our egg whites and adding our salt as well. So first step, I'm going to go ahead and add our salt. Make sure all of it. And with a trusty mixer, go ahead and turn that on low. And once those eggs start turning a little bit white, go ahead and turn it on medium. And guys, this won't take long. This should take about a minute or 2. So now I'm just making sure that I'm not over whipping these. What you really want is a nice sheen on the top and peaks. Alright, you guys, so that is the consistency you're looking for these nice egg whites here. And as you can see, and so that's what you want. If you go overboard and mix too much, you're going to lose all those tiny little bubbles. And when you go ahead and make those macaroons, they will not turn out the right way. They won't get that little bit of more moisture and fluff on the interior and the crispiness on the outside that caramelizes it a little bit. You'll see, I'll show you. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And now that this is ready to go and nice and cold, and our coconut and condensed milk mixture is in the fridge, ready to go as well, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fold these, scoop these, and go ahead and bake these off. I'll see you in just a moment. Next up, now that we have our sweetened condensed milk with the vanilla extract and the coconut flakes here nicely chilled, if you haven't noticed, I went ahead and kind of like moved this over a little bit so that we can fold that egg white in. So the next part is we're going to go ahead and grab our egg white and start folding the coconut right in. I like to start from the outside into the inside of the bowl. That way you're mixing all that egg white to make these nice, moist and fluffy on the inside and very caramelized on the outside. Definitely don't overmix. I wouldn't do more than a minute of mixing on here. Again, you want to keep those bubbles for the egg whites as well in there to give it that nice consistency. That is what it should look like. And it smells very good. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to scoop these up in just a moment. See you in a moment. All right, so let's go ahead and scoop some cloud coconut macaroons. So today I'm going to go ahead and use a small cookie scoop. And the reason is it just gives it a little bit better of an interior texture having that round dome. I'm going to squish this on the side too because I do want to pack this pretty tight in here. And just like that, and go ahead and drop one. Boom. Pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 across. Alright guys, when you get halfway through the batch, make sure you give it just like a couple of 1, 2, and a 3 stir. Reason being is because that condensed milk does settle towards the bottom. That way you don't get soppy macaroons towards the end of your batch. Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep scooping these, and when I'm done, I'll be right back to show you what they should look like. Be right back in a moment. Alright guys, so here is the tray of scooped cloud coconut macaroons. Alright you guys, so these are all scooped up and ready to go in the oven. I've gone ahead and preheated the oven at 325 degrees. This is ready to go. Let's go ahead and pop these in the oven, shall we? Alright, see you in about 25 minutes. Well, you guys, while we wait for our delicious cloud coconut macaroons that are in the oven, don't forget to hit like and don't forget to hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you know when the next video's up. And don't forget too, you can binge watch now. I got a ton of videos up, so check them out. Oh, and you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook on Minimum Wagers Kitchen. Alright you guys, so those cloud coconut macaroons are ready to come right out of the oven. So let me go ahead and turn the oven off. And let's take a look. Ooh, those look awesome. Wow, those look really good. First off, super hot, so let me just go ahead and get these on a cooling tray here. Hot, hot. Oh my gosh, you guys. Alright, I gotta show you the tray of yumness here. So check out these cloud coconut macaroons. Now you can kind of see what I mean by cloud, and that's because of that little bit of extra egg white and sweetened condensed milk makes these a little bit fluffier on the interior. And also too kind of gives it that cloud look. And let me actually show you the other tray because I scooped the last one and I made sure there was a little extra egg white. You know how I said before, make sure to mix your batter halfway through? That's because otherwise you will get this texture and this one right here. As you can see, it was a little bit runny and a little bit of the egg white and sweetened condensed milk there. Just a little too much. Yeah, I purposely made that mistake so you don't have to. Alright you guys, I'm going to go ahead and let these guys cool down for a good 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to show you how to make that super easy chocolate ganache to go ahead and dip these delicious cloud coconut macaroons in. See you in just a moment. See you in a moment. Oh, and by the way, if you want to cool these just a little bit faster, once they're not jiggly anymore, that's about a good 5 minutes sitting out, you can actually grab your parchment paper right here and your cookie tray. I like to go ahead and grab the bottom of the cooling rack as well with the parchment paper, so that way I have something to grip on. And voila! Alright, so our macaroons are all cooled off, and look at those! What I've gone ahead and done is I've just grabbed the spatula and lightly just go underneath, and they'll come right out. That way, these should not stick, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and set our macaroons aside, and let's go ahead and start with our ganache. This is super simple. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone ahead and added some water to a saucepan, and with a metal bowl, make sure that the bottom is barely touching the water here. And what you want to do is set this on very low. You'll know because you'll only have little bubbles down there, and that's how it should stay. That way you're not scalding your cream, and you're also not burning that sugar in the chocolate. Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with that sweetened condensed milk we set aside, and that was 2 teaspoons. Right into the metal bowl, and make sure you scrape all of it out. Next, go ahead and add your chocolate chips right in the bowl, and your 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. You definitely want to get this all mixed in and melted. Well, this ganache is pretty much done, and I'll show you here in just a second what it should look like. And one thing to make sure too is make sure you just keep mixing and don't let that chocolate settle to the bottom, because otherwise that sugar can start crystallizing and it'll really affect the texture of the ganache. So what you should have is a nice, smooth consistency. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right back on. I've gone ahead and turned this down to a low simmer. That way it stays warm, but at the same time, it doesn't start setting just yet. Alright, and I also did want to show you that one macaroon that I made right at the end that had a little bit too much egg white and sweetened condensed milk. And again, I did this on purpose because I wanted to show you. It's still going to taste great, but it looks kind of funny. There's a little bit sticking out on here, so it kind of like squished down a little bit and then kind of almost looks like, you know, over easy egg. We're going to go ahead and dip that one anyways as well. So what you can do, you can take that part off and eat it. Alright you guys, so I have a spatula here, and these are just really easy to just go underneath and pop these right out just like that. I'll show you just another one. There you go. And I'll show you the shape too. Kind of that nice little cloud. And it's fluffy on the inside. I cannot wait to break one open for you and show you. These are so good. Well, now that we have our ganache ready and it's staying nice and warm on here, give it a quick stir here and there just so it doesn't form the skin on top. Next part, you're going to go ahead and grab the macaroons here that are completely cooled down. And alright you guys, so the next step will be picking this up and just go ahead and place it just on a dish rag so that way you have something safe, you don't burn your countertop. And give it a quick stir. And now we're going to go ahead and pick up one of our delicious macaroons. Yum, look at that. I can't wait to try these. I can't wait, especially after tweaking the recipe. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dip this halfway into the ganache, just like that. And let it drip for just a moment. And back onto the parchment paper. That's it. Let me go ahead and show you how to make another one here. So go ahead and pick up your macaroon and dip halfway. And and there we go. One more just for funsies. Whoop. And there we go. So now I can go ahead and pop this back on here and give it a quick stir. Make sure that stays nice and warm. And let me show you what those half chocolate covered cloud coconut macaroons look like. Of course, they are cooling. There you go. Alright, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish the remaining of these, and I'm going to go ahead and plate these after, and I am excited about trying these out with you. So I'll see you in just a few moments to try these out once they're cooled. See you in just a few moments. Alright, you guys, our cloud coconut macaroons are ready to taste, and these are completely cooled. I did want to show you these, so I went ahead and had dipped these halfway, and I also did one with just a little bit of a chocolate drizzle on the top, back and forth with that ganache. Alright, you guys, so our cloud coconut macaroons are completely cooled down, but before I taste these, let's go ahead and find out what the cost was. Because how much did these actually cost at the store and at home? So let's find out together, shall we? Alright, you guys, so for the store version, I went ahead and picked the most 3 popular places that these are being purchased here in my area at least. And I did want to go ahead and add 1 delivery place just in case to have a little variety. So for the Walmart prepackaged macaroons, those were $4.48. It looked about there was about 10 of them in there, so I'm going to say those were about 44 cents each. Now for the delivery service for DoorDash, on the other hand, that does not include the delivery fees and everything else, of course. Those were $6.49. Again, those look like a 10 count or so, so I'm going to go ahead and give them benefit of the doubt at 64 cents each. And for the Fred Meyer packaged ones, those were $5.49. And that one is for a 10-ounce container at 64 cents each. Alright, you guys, so was I able to beat that budget? Yep, absolutely. So let's go ahead and break down the cost here. So for the batch cost today for these homemade on a budget, these were $7.95. And that comes out to 37 cents a serving. By the way, this makes about 20 of these, so there you go, way more. Also, you guys, that does include the ingredients for the chocolate ganache as well. Who does not want homemade macaroons, especially to being cloud coconut macaroons? And these are a little bit fluffier on the inside because I did incorporate a little bit more of that egg white and sweetened condensed milk. Well, let me go ahead and show you what these look like. And again, these are super fluffy. A little bit more airy on the inside and a little bit more moist. But yeah, as you can see, especially that one right there. Oh my gosh. Well, I cannot wait to try these, so let's go ahead and give these a taste, shall we? Well, first off, let's go ahead and break open one without the chocolate ganache. That way I can show you what it looks like on the interior of these. Look at that. It's super fluffy. Oh, it smells delicious too. Oh, I cannot wait to try these. Oh my goodness. But yeah, look at that. And then I'll show you the exterior here. Here you go. And again, these are a little bit fluffier on the inside, as you can see. Alright, you guys, I'm super excited about trying these, so let's go ahead and try these together. Mmm. That is ridiculously good. So creamy, fluffy on the inside. The outside has a nice crunch, not too crunchy, almost like that egg white kind of like breaks apart and melts in your mouth. And because of too that caramelization, you do get a little bit of that kind of caramel flavor afterwards. Wow. I'm gonna have to eat this other piece. Mmm. That is amazing. Guys, I am super happy how these turned out, and I am so glad I tweaked that recipe. My gosh, what a difference on the texture. I mean, super cloud-like on the inside, that nice little crunch on the outside, and then too, that egg white kind of like just melts in your mouth with that caramelization with the sweetened condensed milk. These are so worth trying out, you guys. And if you do, definitely leave me a comment. And I'm gonna have to eat this other bite. Alright, so I've got the half-dipped chocolate cloud coconut macaroon, and that one was half-dipped into the chocolate ganache that we made. So since that's all cooled down, time to try that one out as well. And this one too, very excited to try because, well, chocolate and coconut. Mm. Whoa, this with the chocolate, even better. This is so decadent. Wow. Mmm. Right now, I could care less if I have chocolate all over my face. This is so good. Mmm. You guys gotta try this out. The texture is incredible. And too, it's so fluffy on the inside. It's hard to describe just because, you know, macaroons usually are like compacted and whatnot on the inside. But because of that egg white and too that extra sweetened condensed milk, really just kind of like puffed it up a little bit. The chocolate too, with a little bit of the sweetened condensed milk and the heavy whipping cream to make that lovely easy ganache. Well, that made it even better. Wow, that was just so amazingly delicious. You have got to try out the recipe. These were so easy to make, and by the way too, you can go ahead and stick these in the fridge in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag as well for up to 3 to 4 days. Well, you guys, I had a great time showing you how to make these delicious cloud coconut macaroons today, and I hope you get to try the recipe, and if you do, leave me a comment. And in the meantime, I will see you on the next Minimum Wagers Kitchen. See you next Saturday. Bye!